even after washing it. Look at that. It's like really, really hard to get that off. This is my slightly modified blower that I used to dry the cars. I kept playing with the size of the nozzle. 734, and it's 86. The low is 86. So this car looks so good. We're gonna put one of our LHT license plate frames on it. So much nicer. Remember how bad this car looked? Look at it now. Even in these lights, it looks absolutely brand new. White is really tough to get this kind of reflection on. It doesn't really reflect, you know, like the darker colors. Now it's bright, sparkly white. Even the wheels received some love. And they're ceramic coated too, so that will help them stay cleaner. George isn't here yet, should be here soon. We have a car that's already dropped off right here. This one came from Miami. It's got a few little issues. It's misfiring, it's shaky and stuttering, it's low on power. We're gonna go through and do the basics. We've done a very similar build or a very similar check on a past car. Like we always say, start with the cheap stuff, work up to the expensive stuff, and always cover your maintenance items. That way, if it didn't fix your problem, the maintenance items need to be addressed anyway. So spark plugs, clean the fuel injectors, do a valve adjustment, do a compression check, a leak down, just to give you an idea where you're at. But any of those items that haven't been replaced, go ahead and address that and work towards fixing your problem. But of course, doing a compression and leak down will tell you a lot what's going on. I'll show you this in a minute. Just got to move a couple of cars around. It's a beautiful day, which we're going to savor this while we can, because we've got another hurricane coming this way. Just one of the parts of living in Florida. Dash cam. I'm going to put a separate video up on this, and it's kind of coincides with what happened to Esther. But this is one of those cameras that films forward, films backwards, and it films you if you want. Right now, we just have the footage of the reverse right there. My camera's not focusing. And the front. So far, I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm going to do a full review on this. I want to drive it for a little bit. Really appreciate the Starbucks gift cards. George just brought in some delicious coffees. We're pretty cheap around here, so the only time we drink snooty coffee is when you guys bring us a gift card. Right?
Yeah.
Snooty coffee, gift card.
I was going to agree with you either way.
But right down to the calipers. He even scrubbed the calipers and got them looking shiny because it was so badly brake dust you couldn't see them. Now they're a really nice bright purple. It's got a lot of purple accents on this car. I'll show you under the hood. Last video we fixed the power steering on it. It had a bad bracket and some bad wiring and a few little things. The bracket was broken on the power steering module. It was kind of bouncing around. I don't know if that's what caused it. It definitely didn't help it. But this is one that we tuned, I think 3 years ago. What?
I don't want to run it long to keep it as cool as I can. But...
Yeah, exactly. He dropped this off at 6:30 this morning to get it as cool as we can because we need to do a valve adjustment. But you can hear how it misfires. It just sounds like it's running on 3 cylinders. So we're going to go through this and let you know what we find. It's written down on the work order, but this is kind of like our visual to go down it as we would see this. Valve adjustment is one of the first things we're going to do. That is typical for when it misfires so bad. Also, the valve train sounds super quiet, so it kind of tells me that someone has adjusted it and done it a little bit too tight. If the spark plugs haven't been changed in a while, which it doesn't think to do, we're going to do those. Injectors, pull those out, clean them, and see the spray pattern and see if they're nice and clean.
It's definitely not using 3.
No. Everything else, it's... Somebody has already replaced the coil clips, which is something that we sell in the store. Now, we see this a lot, so we now carry these. These are basically the cam sensors right here. These plugs do the same thing. They fall apart and break. The tabs break off first. If I can get this in view right here. That little tab breaks off, so it doesn't stay on the sensor. It just kind of falls off. And over time, they actually crumble. We've had these things just look like they disintegrate, which is just part of dealing with a car with some years on it. Obviously, it gets hot back here.
I mean, if you look at it, you can see the tip is clean, and then underneath the grounding electrode's got a nice little spot on it.
Yeah.
So it's firing.
It looked like somebody's been in here, don't they?
Yeah, this has got oil on it all the way around, though, which means this might have been leaking slightly.
So as per the book, you need to put the motor in a specific rotation to check each one. I'll put a quick glimpse of the books to show you what that is. Another shameless plug for our headlight, but we use this a lot for valve adjustments especially. Gives you so much more flexibility right there. Does it feel like it has any relief on for?
You can see a little bit of the side of the cylinder wall.
Look at it. Pump is ready. All of the injector clips were broken too, so we're going to replace all of those, put new clips on there. This is something we're waiting to get with our supplier. We're going to start offering these in the store because same thing, they're all starting to go bad. These right here, we're going to replace these because same thing, you barely touch this, it comes off. We have these in the store. We've only got a limited amount. We can only get, I think, 10 sets. So that's what happens to these. We'll replace these. We're going to put a fresh set of plugs in it. There's number 3 right there. It's just kind of dribbling. These are all running smooth now. That one's still bad. These are all working correctly. They all got a nice spray pattern. So we're going to replace the injectors. We took all these apart just to see if there's any damage. It's pretty dark in there. We're doing a serpentine belt. We sell a lot of these in the store because we're half the price of Honda, and we use Bando belts, which is a really good quality belt. It's one belt that runs everything, so it's always a good idea to replace this. It's fairly easy and it's fairly inexpensive. Definitely a good job to do it while you're in there. I hope you do your own oil changes. If you do, you've got to get the oil filter tool. We sell these in the store. We sell a ton of them, and we use it every day. It makes a massive difference, not only getting your oil filter loose, but torquing it back correctly. S2000s are known for oil filters backing out, so it's always a good idea to torque it. You had the wrong oil filter on. Not only was it too small, it was an off-brand, which I'm not saying it's bad, I just wouldn't trust it. Always go with a Honda filter.
Or early Wednesday, 4 to 7 feet of storm surge are expected. Hurricane force wind gusts along the coast and 3 to 6 inches of rain.
This is so much smoother. We're going to let it run for a little bit and check the trims, see if it's behaving itself. It's definitely more responsive. It's going to feel like it's picked up 50 horsepower. Look at the data. Right now it's actually doing pretty good. The trims right here, we're looking at short-term trim. It's actually doing pretty good. I'm going to keep an eye on it, run it for a little bit. We'll drive it up and down the street and get some temperature in it. It's all with help to this guy. It wouldn't do that before.
Into hurricane strength very soon. Expect scattered thunderstorms through the day.
So we doubled up on that car to get him out. He was actually scheduled for 2 days, but because we have the hurricane coming, we needed to turn him around as fast as we could. We don't want him staying in town and paying for a hotel if we don't need to. And of course, we need to prep for the hurricane. We're already prepped at the shop. I got to prep at the house. George has already gone home. He's going to be off tomorrow. Any little loose ends that need to be taken care of. Hurricanes suck. If you've moved to Florida, if you've never seen this before, I'm sure you're in for a big shock dealing with this stuff. But it's always a scary time. But we always got to think of our customers and get our customers taken care of. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the subscribe, hit the share, hit the like. Don't forget our LHT meet September 9th, and it's going to be 5 till 10. Hopefully we see you there. There is a dedicated video. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Don't forget, enjoy your cars.
The storm spinner are still going to be happening when our storms actually still to our coming in Wednesday morning. So it looks like the storm, if it does pass us, the eye will be past Beaver Bay before daybreak, but we're still going to be getting these bands.